What Spirit is telling me today, and what I've been hearing, is that nothing that you've ever lost, quote unquote, was ever a loss. It was actually a gain. And all of that was released from you was the shedding of the layers of the old version of yourself, which is absolutely insane. Because sometimes when we are in the process of losing the thing that we held so close to us, it doesn't feel good. It feels like pain. It is pain. That's what it is. Point blank, period. But those things, when they are released from us, it allows us and frees us into stepping into our next version of ourselves, into our next versions of our reality. So without that said loss, without that said release of that person, relationship, job, belief, we wouldn't be who we are today. We wouldn't be in the place in which we are now, 111 on a timer. So when we lose things, quote unquote, is it really a loss? Or is it a gain of something more sufficient? Or is it a release of something that wasn't serving us? Is it a release of things that weren't aligned with us? You see, when you elevate internally, your environment has to elevate. And if it doesn't elevate, it will get left behind. You know, that's why sometimes in some relationships you actually see a lot of strife and a lot of disconnection, because if one person is growing and the other is not, that's going to cause a problem. If you aren't growing together, you grow apart. And that's the same with everything else in your life as well. If that job is no longer aligning with you, you will grow from it. If that belief is no longer aligning with a new version of yourself, it will no longer be one of your beliefs. You see, as you change internally, your external environment will reflect every single thing that you're exuding from the inside. Your life has no choice but to do so. So I feel like right now you may be in the season of feeling like loss. Yeah, I'm losing this. I'm losing friends. I'm losing relationships. I lost this job. I lost that. But guess what? All that loss, all that shedding out, all that removal is doing is making space for the next thing. So right now, I don't want you to be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. Because the ending of that chapter allowed you to start your next chapter, allows you to start your next book. This is not the end of your story. Every time something is released from your life, it allows you to have a brand new journey available to you. And that's a beautiful thing. A quite beautiful thing. You just have to have the faith to know that this journey is going to require me to release things and be okay with it. It's going to require me to release control, because a lot of us want control over every single thing that we do, but we can't do that. We don't have control over everything. You can control what you're internally doing, but we have no control ultimately. We don't have the ultimate control because we're not the ultimate being. So do you trust that when things are released from your life and you lose things in your life, that it's just preparing you for the next step in your journey? Do you trust that? I trust that. But you know what that requires? It requires you to actually trust yourself. Because you see, if you don't trust yourself, it's hard to trust external sources. It's hard to trust that everything that you desire is going to show up if you don't fully and wholeheartedly trust yourself. And who is yourself? Your higher self. And what's your higher self? Spirit. And spirit, God. All in one. So this process of loss, I feel like you truly have been just like left and right, just losing things, like just people, relationships, It's been one after another for a bunch of this collective. And it's been because you are leveling up. I feel as though you have entered a new phase of yourself. You're a completely different version. And when we step into this new calendar year of 2026, you're going to almost be completely a different person stepping into that new calendar year. For me, I'm personally going to be shedding the layers continuously and building up and planting my seeds so that when spring comes around, the real new year, when, life comes, that's when I actually am going to celebrate the life and the beginning of, my new chapter. You see, I see the winter and the winter solstice, because everything dies during the winter. How could everything be restarting when life is not restarting, right? So that's just my belief. But I believe during winter, we can kill all the old versions of ourselves. So we can look at that as a version of the calendar new year. Kill the old versions of yourself. Release, let go. And sometimes that involves releasing people. In order to kill some of the old versions of yourself, or all of the old versions of yourself, really, it requires sometimes you to physically release people that have been keeping you also in the same characteristics and the same belief systems. It may require you to leave that job if you can. It may require you to stop being friends with some people. It may require you to stop doing certain things, thinking certain ways. Just made a video last time is you are what you think. So this is not only releasing physical things out of your life and people, other people, but it's about you releasing your beliefs in the ones that don't align with the version of you that you're going to be stepping into this new calendar year. You have to let that go too. You have to release that, kill that. But a lot of us, Kimmy wants to itch. She's itching. So a lot of us, honestly, we're afraid to release the old version of ourselves because we don't know who we will be. Who would I be without this identity? Who would I be without doing this particular thing? We're afraid of what am I going to become? And how are people going to know I'm important? But I got a news flash for you and for me. You're already important. Your importance was marked onto this world the day you came into this world, the day your soul incarnated into this body and inspired life. The day you took your first breath, you've been important since day one. Every solar return, every birthday is important. You are important and you matter, I want you to understand that you matter. You have a voice in this world. Internally and externally, you matter, okay? I don't know who needs to hear that, but I feel like someone needs to keep hearing that. You matter. You are important. And nothing or no one can change that, okay? Got my protein shake today. So this new process and this new journey is going to involve things and people, thoughts, beliefs to leave. But are we going to be brave enough to allow those to go freely? Because I want to let you know that in this next phase of your life, coming up to this new calendar year, you can't be afraid to let things go. Anything that's causing friction in your life, it must go. It must go. It must be released. You have to not have so much control over it. Stop grabbing everything so hard because some things are not meant to be held for you because they're not yours. Because what's meant to be for you will not be friction, will not be difficult, will not be hard. It'll be easy. It'll be flowing. You're like a piece of driftwood in the ocean. Just flow. You won't sink. You won't drown. You won't rock too hard because the waves will be just right to take you on where you need to go. So I actually wrote, I used to be really big on poem, and I'm not gonna share too much because I'm gonna let y'all know soon, but I'm really going to get back into my writing. But so this one, I'm gonna read this one. It's called Ebb and Flow, okay? And this is correlated to the message because this is how I, inspired this message. So it says, ebb and flow. What is removed is not truly lost. It is a journey towards what is the most aligned with the truest version of reality. Things come and things go. That is the flow of life, confirmation. To be most authentic to this truth is to allow oneself to release control. Control is friction, and friction is bondage. Captivity disguised as freedom. There is nothing more freeing than to release. It is almost beautiful to know that life will ebb and flow regardless of how one pushes up against the waves. But why not just float and allow the waves to take hold and carry one away? That's life, right? Ebb and flow. That's how I live on my daily basis now. That's my baseline. That's my favorite saying. That's my baseline, okay? My baseline is to allow life to just flow. And when it's time for me to make decisions, I make them. I stay consistent. And I enjoy the process of life. I enjoy life. I'm not waiting for my happiness to come. I am happiness. I have gratitude every day for life, for breath, for being able to think, speak, see, taste, feel. That's a blessing in itself. And I understand that when things leave my life, it is for a reason. Nothing happens for no reason. We may not understand the reason, but everything is not meant for us to understand. Everything is not meant for you to understand. Some things are meant for you to just feel. And sometimes it doesn't feel good when things go and walk away. But when we force things and we don't allow ourselves to flow with the waves of life, we get pushed onto an island that we were never meant to stop on. We were meant to go past that island, but yet now we have to stop along our journey to where we were going, and we have to embark on this journey on the island and get stuck there for a little while. When you get stuck on an island, sometimes it takes time to get back out to shore. And I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to flow with the waves of life. And anything that creates friction for me, I'm going to back away from it. And that's your message here too. Don't be forcing stuff that's not meant for you. And when you know it's not meant for you? When you have to try extra hard, when you have to force it. When you have to, come here, if I could just, and I feel like a lot of y'all do that with relationships. I have. When I try to force things, when I try to make things what I want them to be, well, I can just envision, and that's the issue. Imagination is a beautiful thing, don't get me wrong. But anything in this world could be used for any part of the polarity spectrum, right? So you can either use it positively or negatively. And then you lose yourself in the process. So listen, don't force things that aren't meant for you, okay? And like I said, how do we know when things aren't meant for us? We know when things aren't meant for us. When there's friction. Control is friction, and friction is bondage. Captivity disguised as freedom. Friction is bondage, hidden as freedom. Like, oh, I have to work extra hard to get. Let me let you know, you don't have to work extra hard to get anything. Nothing. You don't have to work extra hard to get nothing that you desire. Not that relationship, not that house, not that job, not that car. You don't have to work extra hard for it, because if it's something that you desire, you will have it. If it's something that's destined for you, you will have it. So that's going to be the message today. But remember, ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. What is removed is not truly lost, okay? It is just a gain in the process of life to make room for the thing that's actually meant for you. So I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let me know any process of this message that resonated with you the most. And you can tell me your story. Tell each other's stories. We're here for each other. This is a community that we're creating. I'm Ja, and this is the Light of Ja, and it's it for the message. So I'll see you guys next time. Ashe and amen.